all three members dropped solo albums. Lauryn Hill's album has the most success. But then she stops dropping albums. I mean, she had like the MTV Unplugged album, but she doesn't really drop a real follow-up to this diamond selling album. You guys are still close. Did she tell you why she stopped making albums?
She just felt uninspired.
That's it.
That's it.
And I guess you've made so much money at that point that if you don't feel inspired, you ain't gotta do nothing.
Um, Listen, I'm gonna say this to you. Some people, money is a driving force for them, right? For her, money isn't a driving force for her, right? If she had $1 billion, if she had $1, she would have done it the exact same way, right? Everyone is different. For me, you know, I'm about my money, so it's a different, everyone is different, So when she says she wasn't, she's been uninspired, she means that. This is a woman who she has to feel inspired to create, you know. And if she doesn't feel inspired, she's not going to create, because that's where she get her source of energy from. It's from what she thinks. Oh man, this. When we did the score, we were inspired from what was happening. You talking about Snoop, Pac, Jay, Biggie, Toto. You had so much great shit happening that we were like, yo, we want to get in that game. Let's bring something to the table. Let's bring the refugee Fugees style to the table. So that's what inspired us, right? And so now I'm not saying there's not greatness happening. For whatever reason, she just didn't feel inspired. And it has nothing to do with music per se. It could be she doesn't like the way the planet is going, maybe. She doesn't like all the craziness that's happening in the world, or the way the media is depicting, I know she's definitely pro-black, pro-human, obviously, but black obviously is something that's very dear to her because she is black, obviously. But sometimes people, man, when you look at what's happening, it can make you depressed. People feel a certain type of way because now people starting to realize the system is rigged. Especially for minorities. And when I mean minorities, not just black, women too, Latinos. It's like the system is not set up to give us a fair stake at it. So now people are rebelling. See what's happening in England? It started with the Arab Spring. So to bring it back to Lauryn Hill, all of these things, have an impact on what she feels like she wants to do as far as creating.
Well, and she also had 6 children and, became a mother. So your priorities start to shift when that happens.
Nah. Yes
That
and
wasn't
no.
it?
Yes and no. I mean, that could be a factor too. That could be a factor too. But I know if she wanted to create, it wouldn't matter if she had 20 children. She would create if she felt like, if whatever that button that needs to be pushed for her to feel inspired. Because for her, it's all about being in. I would say, Lauryn Hill is the epitome of an artist. Like, nothing matters to her but the art. Nothing. Some people, they're like, yeah, the art is great, but, yo, man, I gotta go buy this house. Or I gotta go do this. I gotta go do that. She doesn't care about any of that. And if she doesn't believe she's gonna create something that's gonna be better than what she previously created, she's not touching it.
Yeah, that's a very high bar right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. So some time goes by. you end up dissing Wyclef on a song.
Yeah.
It was like a freestyle or something. What led you to actually, you know, I mean, people feel a certain type of way about each other, but what led you to publicly go and diss your, you know, your former group mate?
Immaturity, man. Just immature. That's all that was. It was young, stupid. Didn't make any sense.
Okay. And then Wyclef ended up dissing you on a song also.
Right.
So with that whole back and forth, did you guys talk at all after all that happened?
Yeah, we spoke. It was only one time. I did, he did, and that was done. You know, we spoke, and I was like, man, I'm done with that shit. That's not even my character. You know, it was stupid. But, you know, things happen, man. You know, you do things, and you learn from it. You learn from your mistakes. I apologize. It was a wrap.
And to be fair, this wasn't exactly one of these epic hip-hop battles. I think that you guys did it, but no one really...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
energy.
It wasn't that deep. You know what I mean? It was just some bullshit.
Yeah. So then you guys end up reuniting at the Dave Chappelle block party.
Right.
That was the first time you guys performed together, you know, since you guys were a group?
Yeah.
Like, how did that come together?
Dave.
He just called you guys up and said, I want to do this?
Yeah, he called Lauryn first, spoke to Clef, spoke to me. Was like, oh, I would love for y'all guys to do something. You know, obviously, you guys one of my favorite bands. It was Dave, and we felt like, let's go for it. You know.
Yeah, you know, and I've hung out with Dave Chappelle before, and he really is a real hip hop fan. Like, just truly. Like, you know, when I met him, he starts talking about these mixtapes that I used to drop, this Tupac mixtape, and I'm like, oh shit, like you still know that stuff. Like, this was real underground, and yet he was still in tune with it. Like, you know, Dave definitely is hip hop. Now, why'd you guys decide to go and reunite at the block party when I'm sure you guys had lots of offers previously?
Once again, you know, it was about the vibe, the music. It wasn't contrived. It wasn't doing some big thing at Times Square or anything like that. It was, we all were fans of Dave, and Dan were fans of ours. So it was like, let's go for it. It just felt right. It didn't feel too big. It didn't feel like, oh, they're trying to do this. It was just like, we really just did it because we loved the dude, and he loved us. He invited us.
So you guys do the Dave Chappelle block party, and then you guys end up touring afterwards?
No, we just did we did a 1 month tour in Europe. We was trying to see if we can do a reunion album at that time.
Okay, and what happened with that?
It didn't work.
Why is that?
Just the energy wasn't there.
Okay. Was the relationships kind of worked out at that point?
It was better. It was better.
Okay, but not enough to actually collaborate with the three of
It's not
you.
even that. It was more about the score. If we're gonna do something, it has to be better. Can't even be as good. Has to be better than the score. So we just felt like we weren't hitting that vibe for whatever the reasons were.